Obamacare is lousy health care. It's very expensive health care for the people. It's also expensive for the country, but for the people, it's lousy health care.
So Donald Trump is now saying that if he's elected, he's going to kick millions upon millions of Americans off of their health care. I'm not joking. Like, he just called to terminate health care for millions of Americans. This is insane.
A federal judge in Texas, Reed O'Connor, this guy just made a ruling that stripped one of the key provisions in the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, that requires health insurance companies and employers to provide free health services that include cancer screenings, diabetes screenings, HIV PrEP medications, depression screening, etc. This is something that's going to affect over 100 million people based on this ruling.
You know, it's kind of astonishing how in the year of our Lord 2024, going on to 2025 now, there are people walking around today, U.S. citizens, who do not know that the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare are one and the same. What's worse is that they are actively taking part in and benefiting from the Affordable Care Act and then trashing Obamacare every chance they get, simply because that man's name is attached to it. You see, you can't underestimate stupid. It always finds a way. Now, I could understand if this confusion was happening when, the Affordable Care Act was first introduced, right? But we coming up on at least 10 years. I think it's been 10 years, in fact, right? And there are still people, most of them in the MAGA mob, who don't know that my man Barry, the 44th president, got them affordable health care. I've been on Obamacare before. It's great. It's great. Cheapest health insurance I ever got. And they actively trashing it because there's nothing but air up here. It's crazy.
Imagine wanting to get rid of something that you don't like, only to find out that the thing you didn't like is actually the thing you needed all along. Well, that's exactly what's happening with Obamacare. People were cheering to remove it, thinking they were getting rid of the Obama Act, only to realize that it's the very same thing as the ACA, Affordable Care Act. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because today we've got a real eye-opener. But before that, let's watch these videos and I'll be back with my take.
There's this American man who came on big social media and said that he voted for Trump because he wanted Trump to scrap Obamacare. Mind you, he's unemployed, right? And if anybody knows about the American healthcare system, it is privatized, which means that you have to pay for your treatments. And they can be very expensive. Nevertheless, he decided that he was going to vote for Donald Cheeto, translucent wig wearing as Trump, because he wanted Trump to scrap the Obamacare and continue with the Affordable Care Act. Not realizing that when Obama launched Obamacare, he made it clear that it was the ACA. The Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. So he basically scrapped his entire privilege of getting discounted or cheap healthcare.
Apparently, a lot of them are figuring out that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing. And they actually voted against their own self-interest. If you voted for him, you took away my healthcare. Not only did you take away my healthcare, you took away my ability to get insurance at all because I have pre-existing conditions.
One of the things I will always hark on is just how many lives President Obama saved with the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare. I don't think a lot of people realize just how bad insurance companies were prior to the Affordable Care Act. Like she mentioned pre-existing conditions. You can have anemia and insurance companies could be like, I don't think so. Like we talk about like this epidemic with obesity. That could be another reason why they say, you know what? I'm not going to insure you. Like, I don't think people realize just how bad the insurance companies were before President Obama and the Affordable Care Act said, like, y'all need to get that together.
No, but I do think we need to have a serious conversation about this whole Obamacare bad, but Affordable Care Act good thing. Instead of mocking the people who think that, let's talk about what it actually shows us, because I think that's important, and it's going to be so important moving forward for the next 4 years. The right wing is and has always been excellent with their marketing. They have drilled it into people that Obamacare is bad, that anything associated with Obama is bad. But it works. People say they hate Obamacare, but then you've got all these individuals saying, oh, but I hope they don't take away my Affordable Care Act. And we've known this for quite some time now, actually, because they've done, surveys and studies that show when you ask, how do you feel about Obamacare, people respond negatively. But when you break it down and ask people how they feel about the individual components of the Affordable Care Act, there's like a 70 or 80% approval.
One of the things Donald Trump said he's going to do is eliminate Obamacare. Do you know the states that benefit the most from Obamacare? The southern states, all of that voted for Donald Trump. I just think that's important. Let's see what happens.
If Obamacare goes away, I do think we'll see a renaissance of sketchy, out-of-pocket doctors who'll give you whatever you want. So, upside?
It's honestly crazy how many people didn't even realize that Obamacare is the ACA. And now, with the ACA gutted, people who voted for Trump are regretting it big time. There's a particular video that has hit me hard. This woman's life and the lives of so many others are now in jeopardy because the very healthcare plan that was supposed to protect them has been stripped away.
Dear President Trump, I know I don't look so good. I've been undergoing chemotherapy since May, and it takes a lot out of you. The good news is that Obamacare is keeping me alive and can cure my stage 4 cancer, but I need to keep my insurance. Your latest plan will put me and millions of other Americans at risk. Throwing us to the mercy of the insurance companies is not the way to go. We need the protections of the Affordable Care Act so that people with pre-existing conditions will be covered. We need somebody that will stand up for us rather than selling us out.
This is truly devastating, and it's not just about those who supported Trump, it's about everyone affected by these decisions. And honestly, I know this situation might seem funny to some, seeing the irony in it all, but when you think about it, this is serious. People's lives are on the line and we can't ignore that. We are talking about healthcare for millions, for people who don't have a backup plan. And honestly, the Black community have always warned people about this for years. They've told you that if you don't understand the policies you're backing, the consequences could be life-changing. And now we are seeing this aftermath. Well, at the end of the day, I can't help but wonder, was this just ignorance, or did people decide to ignore the fact simply because Obamacare had Obama's name in it? It's crazy that so many were quick to bash it without realizing the full impact it would have. And what's even more shocking is that they didn't even know they were also harming the ACA, which many of them actually relied on. It's one thing to disagree with something, but it's also another not to even understand what you're opposing. And I really hope this serves as a wake-up call for everyone. And for those who supported the removal of Obamacare without understanding its connection to the ACA, the consequences are hitting now. So guys, finally, what do you all think about this? Was it ignorance, or was there something deeper at play? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our future discussions. Catch you up in the next one. Bye.